Well, hi, I'm Pastor Tim, and welcome to this week's edition of Tim Talk. Well, it's Christmas season, as you can tell. I'm sitting here in my home, and the Christmas tree is behind me, and me and my family, we're ready for the Christmas season. I think everyone is ready for the Christmas season because Christmas is a time of hope. And hope is something we all need during this dark and difficult year. It's been a year in which we've been hit by storm after storm. That's not only true of us as like a nation, but it's also true of us as families and individuals. I know my family has dealt with a couple storms, and we're in the midst of one right now as my wife receives treatment for cancer. But I'm sure that you've faced your own difficult storms. And when we're in the midst of those storms, we want a resolution. We want a solution to that problem. We want that storm to be over. And we may even wonder as we're going through that storm, does God hear? Does God really see what's going on? Sometimes we might think that, God is so far removed from our small issues that he doesn't really care, that he's got bigger struggles to solve. Well, the answer and the hope of Christmas is that God does see and hear. The hope of Christmas is that God chose to dwell with us in Jesus Christ. Jesus is Emmanuel, which means God with us. And that ought to be very encouraging to us today. It means that God didn't look down upon the mess of this world, the brokenness and rebellion of this dark world and say, you know what, that's too much of a mess. I'm not going to dive into that. The hope of Christmas is that God chose to dwell with us in Jesus Christ. That God looked at our mess and said, I'm going to dive in and I'm going to fix that mess. And the significance for that is huge. That Jesus is a helper for those who choose to trust in him. According to Hebrews 14-16, Jesus isn't one who is unable to sympathize with our weaknesses. Because Jesus, who is fully God, took upon himself a human nature, he is able to empathize with us in our weakness because he was made like us in every way except for the sin. And Hebrews 4:16 goes on to say that here's what it means for us, that we can draw near to him in prayer if we trust in him to receive mercy and grace to help us in our time of need. And that mercy and grace is available to us 24/7. So whatever battle you are fighting, whatever struggle you are facing, whatever storm you are enduring, look to Jesus who can walk with you. Oftentimes when we're going through that storm, that battle, that struggle, we ask two big questions. We ask, why is this happening? And when will this be over? And let's face it, it's really hard to know the answers to those questions. Only God knows those answers. But instead, let me encourage you to focus on another aspect. Instead of focusing on why and when, focus on the one who can help you through it. Focus on the one who can help you through it. God promises help to those who choose to hope in him. There's a wonderful promise in Isaiah 40:31, and it says this, but those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. It doesn't say all their problems will be over. It doesn't say that they live a carefree life, but it promises help to those who hope in him. That God will renew your strength when you choose to hope in him. And that is the hope of Christmas. Because God showed up in Jesus, Emmanuel, you can know that God will always hold you up in the darkest of times. So choose hope. All right, well, that's this week's edition of Tim Talk. Be sure that you don't miss any future editions of Tim Talk by subscribing to the Forks Community Church YouTube channel. If you subscribe to that, you will be made aware anytime there's a new video posted. Be sure that you like this. Leave a comment. If this encouraged you, let me know, and let me know how it encouraged you, okay? You guys have a great day, and we'll see you next week.